The Best Kind of Different is a book that I sat down to write to make people understand what Asperger's syndrome was, and that even though I discovered that I didn't have what was a typical child, how to find the love for that child that I have, and what I learned and how I grew from having a child that wasn't typical. Asperger's syndrome it's not a disease, it's a syndrome. So it's not something that you can have surgery or there's medication. It's the way that their brains are wired. And the best way to explain it is when you have kids that are 3 and 4 and they say things that are unfiltered, we as grown-ups and parents start to teach those society rules that go into when it's not always right to tell the truth, when it's okay to start and stop in a conversation. And it's like kids with Asperger's really miss that lesson. There was a lot of frustration for me of why I was yelling at a child, and that's the way that I was taught. The louder your parents got, the more serious they were. Why I was yelling at a child that would giggle back at me, never seemed to understand, never seemed to grasp that I was really, really angry with him. And you know, looking back on it, there were so many signs of that. I just didn't know that that's what it was. I thought your first reaction is you yell at a child and he doesn't respond to you is he doesn't respect you. And it wasn't that. It was just he couldn't read my facial cues, and when he got nervous, that's how he displayed his nervousness, was with a giggle. When he is having a conversation with me and we're talking about very, you know, simple or serious things, it's really coming from a place of his heart that he gets to live so freely and unfiltered, and he is not influenced by the world. And I think a lot of that has really rubbed off on me. From going from a place where I was always judged from a person of what I was from here, because nobody wanted to know me. They just wanted to see who I was because I was Curt's wife, to absolutely loving who I am and who I get to be now. And it's a lot contributed to him that I wish I could have learned to live like many, many years ago. I think I'm a better mother. I think I'm a better friend. I'm not afraid of different. Well, I think the book is good for, one, parents of kids with Asperger's. It's good for anyone who knows somebody with Asperger's, who wants to learn more about it, for the family. But it's also, I wrote it as a book that you never know what's going on in someone's house. And here people thought that we had this perfect life and, you know, that money should cure everything. And there is no perfect life and there is no perfect home. And I think a lot of us have our own battles and our own struggles at home. And if we could just think about that when we go through our daily life, that we could be a lot kinder to one another, that we would be living in a much happier place.